And good morning, good Saturday morning. Glad to have you with us. Humid out there this morning. Did you guys notice?
Oh, yeah.
Stickiness.
Sticky.
Out there this morning. But still no rain.
Yeah.
To amount to anything.
Rather than having to split up our football Friday night, we could have had the regular deal, probably with no issues.
Talking about jumping the gun.
Oh, boy.
If the word rain is mentioned, let's play Thursday.
Let's play Thursday. Yeah, I mean, it's automatic. How many schools did it? It must have been
50%.
Yeah,
Maybe.
about 50%.
What do you think, Brett? 50%. Well, moved up to Thursday.
Yeah, maybe not statewide, but around here it was.
Yeah, at least
Western
North Carolina anyway.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if it affects the gates at all to play on Thursday. I would think it does a little bit, but maybe.
No, I think it's a lost gate on Thursday.
Do you? I think it depends on how big the game is. I think if somebody's, thinking I may go watch this high school football game, and then they say Thursday, then they'll just say no.
Yeah.
I got something else going on. And especially if this past Thursday they were a Buffalo Bill or Miami Dolphin fan, because that has to figure in a little bit too.
NFL game has to figure in, even though it was on Amazon Prime, which is a streaming network.
So that means you didn't get to watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I've mentioned this to you before. This thing cost you one time a VC box. Don't even have to have Amazon Prime if you got a VC box, because guess what? I got every channel there is in Miami, and they show it local.
Yeah, because
so there you go.
I saw that my Hulu Live was going up again, so I need an alternative. Sure.
Red Zone.
So this is a one-time deal, right? You get the box, boom, that's it.
That's it. But here's the whole deal. At some point, it's going to go out, and you have to get another one. But now, I'm about a year and a half in, so it's paid for itself, I would say, like 30 times over.
Well, yeah.
I don't know quite that much, but it's paid for itself over and over and over again. So.
All I got to do is go to Amazon and find this wondrous device.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep. And they upgrade all the time. If you go look, what's out there now will be different in a month, because they're, always,
It's one thing we know. Prices for cable, prices for streaming packages are continuing to go up.
And did you see this week that DirecTV, what did they lose? The Sunday ticket or what? They lost something big, something major that they don't have right now. I just saw it in the news.
I don't know. Well, Sunday ticket's already on YouTube TV, not DirecTV.
And not DirecTV. Okay, so maybe they lost Red Zone or something else too, because at one time you had to have the NFL package Sunday ticket to get Red Zone, but now you don't.
No,
you can just get one or the other. Red Zone to me is the greatest invention ever. I wish college football would do that. They kind of do with live look in.
Yeah, they do,
but it's not as detailed and as good as Red Zone. Red Zone for a sports fan, to me, is the greatest thing ever put out there. It's like you flipping the remote and finding the right spot at the right time. They do it for you. You just sit there and watch, and it changes channels.
That's every scoring play, or every play in the red zone.
If they can, if
they don't show it live, they'll show it.
Yeah, if they miss
a minute after.
A lot of touchdowns are scored outside the red zone.
Well, yeah, the long play.
That's right. But they'll immediately show you a replay as soon as they get the opportunity. So, you guys ever have your phone automatically go to voice activation? Everything I've said so far this morning, I was about to send in a text to Hooks. He would really. I wouldn't want him to be obligated to read all that. I'll put it that way.
I just counted 108 games last night and 46 on Thursday. So a little over double.
Yeah.
I say it one more time.
There were 108 games played last night
Yeah.
and 46 on Thursday.
Okay.
And most of those 46 probably in this area.
Yeah.
A lot of them were. Well, a lot of teams in this area were off this week.
Well, yeah. See, the CVAC was off, basically.
Yeah, it's
6
that,
out of 8 teams.
Yeah, a lot of the it's the week between non-conference
Right.
and conference
And
play for a
conference.
lot of schools.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The final tune-up.
some are not there yet. Good morning, Hooks. I did not hit send, thank goodness, on that 7,000 word text I was about to send you that involved DirecTV, the Red Zone, and whatever else be the case there. But I do like me some Red Zone. You got the Red Zone, Hooks? Are you a NFL fan? I'd like to know. So many, most time, I don't know how many football fans do you know that don't go up the ladder? And you know what I'm saying? If you're a high school fan, are you a college fan, and are you an NFL fan, or is it
Yeah, I think most people seem to go for the trifecta. If they like high school, they're going to like college, and so on and on.
I'd say there's a lot more that like NFL and college and not high school,
high school.
than like high school and
Well,
not
of course
college.
there are. I mean, you
NFL.
can tell that by the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way the stadiums look. Well, in a way you can tell it by the stadiums. Now, for every college in America, there's probably how many high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't, the way they're putting up, that might be harder to do now, the way they're putting up new colleges everywhere,
Yeah.
but I would think there's there's more than 10 high schools to every one college in the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you start adding those up, and the amount of fans that are in all 5 of those stadiums, it wouldn't be 10, but all 5 of those.
Well, you can't just think of the number of people in the stadiums. I mean, how many people are watching NFL
TV.
on Sunday?
Yeah,
that,
me.
that aren't going to a high school game on Friday night.
Yeah, me. What percentage of, I thought about this before. I lose, and I know you don't, Brett, so I know I lose 75% of my interest in Major League Baseball when football cranks up. And I love baseball. But especially when my Sox aren't doing well, when the Red Sox aren't playing well, I don't even really.
I only had about 25% to start with, but when football starts, that's down to 0%.
Really? You hadn't even watched baseball since football started?
No.
Not even on a Tuesday or Wednesday night?
I might have flipped over for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But no.
I have to admit, I'm close to that, and there's been some big series.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees and Red Sox are playing each other right now. The Dodgers are playing the Braves. Is that right?
Yeah.
Brett?
I
Dodgers,
saw
Braves.
a little bit of the Yankees-Red Sox last night at a restaurant, though.
I am interested
Now,
in the
on
Phillies.
Sunday night, the Dodgers play the Braves on ESPN, and there's going to be an NFL game that starts an hour after that. I will probably mostly be on NFL because that Dodgers-Braves game doesn't mean very much.
That's it.
But when the
162
playoffs
games.
start, I would not turn my TV away from a Dodgers
Okay.
playoff game
Yeah.
for any football game.
I don't have that problem
Yeah.
this year.
Now, if my lowly Giants, were ever in the playoffs, that
Ever.
would be a different
'Cause I
story.
don't think there's anything
But-
more intense than playoff baseball.
Yeah, and it's played at
That's
a
true.
different level, and each pitch, you're sitting on the edge on each
Yeah.
pitch.
It is.
I am glad it's faster moving. It's picked up the pace, and things like that. But still, if who would be the marquee matchup in the NFL, right? Who the Chiefs play this week? It's somebody good. It's
Is it Cincinnati?
Yeah,
it is Cincinnati. I say somebody
It's not
good.
somebody good.
It's somebody that was expected to be good in the Bengals, but if there was a playoff game on at the same time as the let's say the Chiefs and I'll throw it out there, Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage are going to spend more time on the football game versus the playoff baseball game and vice versa. You think it's
Talking
I guess
about
it
two
depends
more-
on who that playoff
Yeah,
game
if
is
it's
for
not
you.
Dodgers, I'd probably be
Watch more
50-50.
football, yeah, or as much. Yeah. You know, if the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC, who is the best team in the NFC, right? Who do you see as the best team in the NFC after 1 week? We got 1 week to base it on.
Well, 1 week. Look what Dallas did.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what the talk people, the people on the show said this week? What's different?
Yeah, they always do
They
that.
do this every year.
Every year.
You know, the last 6 years they've probably blown out the Giants on opening day.
Oh, yeah.
Last year was like 100-3 or something like
Mike
that.
McCarthy's record overall is really good.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Somebody pointed out that over the last 6 years, I think the Cowboys have won one less game than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, that's right.
But guess when the Chiefs win theirs?
January.
When it counts.
Yeah, when it counts.
The Chiefs win their games when it counts.
I'd still say Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
Detroit.
say they're the best team
Yeah.
in NFC.
And they just squeaked by the Rams.
Yeah.
in
Well, the
their first
Rams are a
game,
good
but
team.
the Rams
The
are
Rams
good.
are a good team.
Yep, the Rams are good.
Detroit,
That's overtime,
I mean,
right?
even the great NFL teams will just squeak by a lot of weeks, but
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do in the NFL. They all count the same. It's not like college.
I think
Margin matters.
I think
College.
San Francisco made a statement against the Jets in handling Aaron Rodgers and company. They look good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I don't know if they're the best.
Philly looked good against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would. You know,
I think the NFC might be deeper than people
deeper it
than
probably
people
is.
thought.
It's probably deeper than the AFC as far as but maybe the top. Yeah, AFC's a little top heavy. Who would you put in Kansas City's category in the AFC? If you had to pick today,
In
you're
the
picking
AFC?
the Chiefs to be in the championship. Who you picking to go against them in the AFC championship? Buffalo.
No, they look great.
Buffalo and
2-0.
Baltimore, I'd probably say, are
Yeah. I still
the
got to go
next
with
best
Baltimore as a team that could challenge you.
Yeah.
I don't think Houston's as good as those others, as Baltimore and
Yeah,
Buffalo.
well, a lot of times, and I'm not doubting Houston yet, but a lot of times when you have that great year, all of a sudden you take a setback the following year.
Sophomore-itis,
Yeah.
they say.
And I think they are really going to be good for a while with their quarterback situation and stuff like that. But time will tell. Yeah, this is the NFL. The reason I love it, just about every week will change who we've got in the championship games. You know, Kansas City might not change much,
No.
but the rest of the league will change who we pick to be
That's the beauty of it.
in the championship. College football, not quite so much. You know, I mean, who's the dominant right now? Is it Georgia? If you had to pick a team you know is going to be in the championship,
I can almost say without reservation, Georgia will be in the Final Four of the 12-team playoff.
yeah, I can see that. But I will say,
I'd really Georgia and Ohio State. If either one of them's not in it, I'd be surprised.
and Ohio State probably has a better road, a lighter road than Georgia does because of the gauntlet of the SEC schedule.
The gauntlet of
you
the
know?
SEC.
I don't know. Big Ten schedule's probably pretty tough.
Does Ohio State play Texas? That'd be must-see
No.
TV.
No.
See there?
Texas played Michigan. They're not going to
Yeah.
play Michigan and Ohio
No,
State.
not in the
Yeah.
same year.
Yeah.
Ohio State's toughest games look like Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan.
Yeah.
Those are their biggest three games.
How many of those on the road?
Oregon and Penn State.
Oregon could be tough on the road.
Could be.
Penn State,
And they also play Iowa and Nebraska. I mean, those two are good.
Yeah, they are.
They're-
Yes, they are. I am impressed with those Huskers.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, I know it's 2 weeks,
Yeah.
but
Well, they got the great freshman quarterback, the best prospect in the country.
Yep. And we know that Matt Rule can coach some college
He
football.
can coach college football,
You know,
and turn a program around quickly. He did
Here's
it at Temple.
the bad part of Ohio State's schedule is the non-conference. Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall. I mean, they don't
Ouch.
find anybody better than
That's whose?
Ohio State's non-conference games.
Well, those are gimmies. Hook says, good morning, guys. I do have the Red Zone on Dish Network. He said the 49ers looked really good without CMC. That backup running back was a good player. I believe it's 49ers in the NFC. And, like I said, we'll go through this. Who do the 49ers play this week, Brett? Let's see who they've got this week.
At Minnesota.
At Minnesota. That's a big matchup. Minnesota looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And their who was the quarterback for the Vikings? Darnold?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
Yep. I
Another
think he completed his
resurrection.
first 12, if I'm not mistaken. Jason says DirecTV and Disney are in a dispute. Their contract ended at the end of August. Many of the industry insiders thought it would be resolved by the start of the NFL, but it isn't. So if you have DirecTV, I used to, but we cut that thing off when it got up to about $800 a week.
Yeah, I remember you always had DirecTV.
Yep. It wasn't that high, but it was just escalating out the roof. Let's see. So if you have DirecTV and you don't have any of the ESPN channels, nor any of the other Disney channels either. Richard says, being one that counted money at the high school football games in the past Thursday doesn't affect that much. The rain would affect money much more.
Okay.
Yeah, and I agree with that because if it's raining, a
clear Thursday would probably beat a rainy Friday.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry. It's not that big of a deal. The game will continue the next week, no matter what day they play. That is true. Let's see. Denny Hoover, my favorite text of the morning so far, screw DirecTV. I like it. I
was looking at Georgia's toughest games. Well, they already played Clemson.
Yeah.
They got Alabama.
And Clemson all of a sudden didn't look so bad against App, did they?
Yeah. Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Those would be probably their top 4 games.
Oh, man.
Their non-conference schedules: Clemson, Tennessee Tech, UMass, and Georgia Tech. So definitely tougher non-conference schedule than what Ohio State had, just because they got Clemson on there.
Yeah.
Alabama's going up to Wisconsin, Camp Randall. That's
an odd matchup, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Alabama, let's face it, I mean, without Nick Saban, I don't know what to expect. Just to be honest, I do not know what to expect. Without what I used to tell Sumo to call Nick Saban, this goes way back, the healer. I always called Nick Saban the healer. No matter where he went, your program,
except the Dolphins,
was resurrected in college.
Yeah.
In college. Yeah. And you know what? I think given time with the Dolphins, if he would have stuck it out, he wasn't going to keep losing.
Did he even stick it out that one season? I mean,
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't think he did the Bobby Petrino. No, is that the right name? Petrino that left a note.
Oh yeah, left
on the
a
Falcons'
note.
desk.
Yeah, Falcons. Yeah.
On his desk. I see y'all.
See ya.
I'm going motorcycle riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saban coached 2 full seasons with Miami.
2 full seasons.
Okay.
It was 15 and 17.
Yeah. And what? Here's what I'd like to know. What have Miami been the 2 years prior to that? You know, it's like Miami. Don't forget, after their Dan Marino years, they've been in the dark for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Have they not?
Yeah.
I mean, they've not really been a factor. As of late, they've been pretty good. I don't know what their situation's going to be now, though.
Yeah, it's very tenuous.
Ugh.
$200 million quarterback. What do you do?
They were 4 and 12 the year before he got there.
That right there tells you.
Then they went 9 and 7, and then 6 and 10.
Yeah, I guess that second year when he didn't
That's what did
win more than the previous
9 and
year.
7's promising.
Yes,
the
it
first
is.
year.
But before the 4 and 12, they were 11-5, 11-5, 9-7, 10-6. So they had 4 good years, 1 bad year.
I wonder who was coaching then.
Yeah.
What was the guy's
Dave
name?
Wannstedt.
Was he?
Yeah.
Always liked that guy.
I did too, but he never really got over the hump, did he?
Not
as
quite.
a head coach.
And before him was Jimmy Johnson.
Okay, I'm trying to think of somebody that had one letter off of a famous name that coached the Dolphins at one time. I don't know why I remember such weird things like that. Tell me, Dave? No, that'd be Wannstedt.
Yeah.
Well, all I said, they hadn't had many coaches.
Okay.
Their first 4 years looks like George Wilson,
Nah.
and then Don Shula for a long time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, many years.
Right after Don Shula was Jimmy Johnson,
Yeah,
then Dave Wannstedt,
yeah.
and then an interim coach, I guess. Dave Wannstedt got fired mid-season. Jim Bates
That's
only
not the one I'm
only
thinking
coached
of.
7 games.
Longtime Packer assistant.
Oh, you must be thinking Tony Sperano.
That's it.
Instead of
That's it.
Soprano.
Yeah, Tony
Sperano.
Sperano. Now, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, he passed of a heart attack at some point. But that's exactly who I was thinking. I knew it was one letter. You know, all you got to do
Away
is just
from
switch
a
the letters
famous-
around. Yeah, Tony Soprano coaching the
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins. That
As in witness protection program. They moved him to
Who
Miami.
was after him?
Well, let's see. An interim coach, Todd Bowles, for 3 games.
Todd Bowles, yeah.
That was only 3 games.
You remember that, Mike? Todd Bowles, 3 games? Must have went
no.
0-3.
Joe Philbin,
Okay, I remember Philbin.
3 years, right
Came
at 500.
from Green Bay as well, I think.
Dan Campbell, another interim.
How about that?
He went 5-7 in the last part of the season. Adam Gase,
Whoa, don't remember him.
Look how it's turned out for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Brian Flores, and Mike McDaniel.
Who was the coach that filed a suit because he didn't get hired permanently? I'm trying to remember. There was something
In Miami?
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
Todd Bowles, maybe. I don't.
Well, they've had 3 interim coaches. They
I
were
know who he's talking about.
Brian Flores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Brian Flores.
he was their last coach before Mike McDaniel.
And I'm surprised he's not become a head coach again. Yeah, I thought he's pretty
You
good.
mean not too long ago, Tua just blasted him.
Well, there's been a lot of that, hasn't there? Players talking about mistreatment or
Yeah.
something. I mean,
There
he's
may
not going
have.
to get a head coaching job with
No.
that on his record.
No.
Right.
Because that was a big news buzz. That
I still go back to Brett's comment. I can't get it out of my head that they put Tony Soprano in witness protection.
I love
And
that.
they put him coaching the Dolphins and changed the name by 1 letter. They'll never know. Tony
Have a
Sperano.
little bit more.
He is safe now.
So from 1960, what was it? 1966
One coach.
to, let's see, when David Wannstedt was finished. From 66 to 2003, they had 3 coaches.
Well, that's stable.
Let me ask you this. Do you know where the great Don Shula came from to coach the Dolphins? I know Mike does.
I do.
Well, I thought you did.
I don't.
He lost the most important game in NFL history.
As a coach.
Yes, compared to some, he lost the most important game in NFL history.
It was the Joe
oh,
Namath.
yeah, the Joe Namath.
game.
Yeah, AFC.
So who was he coaching?
Baltimore.
Yeah, the Colts.
Baltimore Colts.
When they lost that game, that kind of put the AFC on the map.
They did.
For good, you know.
Yeah. Because the first 2 so-called Super Bowls had been won handily by the NFL.
Is he the one that lived at Grandfather Mountain?
Yep.
Or had a house at
Had a
Grandfather
house of
Mountain?
grandfather, yes. Yes. Yep.
It says he died in Florida. I guess that's where he ended up living in his later years.
Rodney Willis is awake this morning. He said the Baltimore Colts. Lenny Anthony says Now, I don't know if he meant to say hell yeah or heel yeah. I've got heel yeah, the Colts. I don't think he meant to say hell yeah. Hook says the Baltimore Colts, and Jason says Shula came from the Baltimore Colts. So there you go. We got some folks weighing in on
Does anybody remember the score of that pivotal game?
that the Jets won over. God, remember the score.
Well, I just found it on here.
It's very low scoring.
Yeah, it was
17-14,
close. 16-7.
16-7.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Colts were favored by 19.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, Namath during the week before the Super Bowl predicted a Jets victory.
In his fur coat on the beach.
His fur coat on the beach, I think, or by the pool. I can't forget which one it was.
Yep. Still not as much as that clip is shown, it's still not what I remember about Joe Namath.
I know what you're doing.
Wanting to kiss Susie Colbert on live TV.
Yeah.
He didn't have a drink in his hand, but it wasn't far away. I don't believe.
Yeah,
but the drink was too
more
far
likely.
away. Yeah. Yep. Let's see. It is 8:29. So guess what that means? That means I'm going to give you my lyrics. We're going to take our first time out. We're going to come back and look at some high school football scores from Thursday and Friday. There were, I don't know what you call a surprise in high school football, but there was one game that surprised me by the score, and we'll get to that whenever we come back. So here you go. Here's the first lyrics of the morning. Mm-hmm. You're always dancing down the street. You're always dancing down the street. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner's mission is to earn their patients' respect and trust through the commitment and positivity, and offer the dental solutions in a professional environment to improve oral and overall health. The practice will be accepting new patients. Just call 704-735-0765 to schedule an immediate appointment. We can provide services like extractions, crowns, bridges, fillings, night guards, cleanings, and deep cleanings, sleep apnea appliances, partials, and dentures. We can also advise determine a treatment plan for dental implants. Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner, 904 Daunchy Drive, Lincolnton. Call 704-735-0765 to schedule your appointment and experience the dental profession in a warm and no-pressure environment. I'm telling you, the apple didn't fall far.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
It's time to get ready for spring. Time to head to Full Throttle Power Sports and 95 Trailers. Test drive an ATV or side-by-side today. Full Throttle Power Sports carry CF Moto, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, and Slingshot. And check out their trailers with brand names like SureTrack, Iron Bull, and Triton. Stop by or give them a call at 704-833-1270. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. They deal in fun.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
We'll do that again. Let's just see. Let's just see if anybody recognized those lyrics this morning. Did you recognize those, Lenny? Lenny joins us this morning.
The Cars.
Ooh, don't say any more. He did recognize it. Yep. Ned Yates says, well, he says nothing at all about the lyrics. He says, in Chapel Hill again this Saturday. Hotel is with, has DirecTV. Second weekend straight with no sports TV until Fox Big Noon comes on at 10 a.m. Disney and AT&T, everything they touch, they ruin, says Ned. I don't know. Is DirecTV on its way out? You know, I mean, I wonder about that. Hook's got not only... And Lenny may know it too. He didn't get just the group; he got the name of the song as well. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys one more line and see if it helps. Okay, you're always dancing down the street with your suede blue eyes, and every new boy that you meet, he doesn't know the real surprise. Now that you know the group, you're probably going to get the song as well. So. But one of my favorite groups.
Is it just what I needed?
No.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I know.
I can't hear it in my head. I just don't know.
Did you know the song, Lenny?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell him.
My best friend's girl. Is that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My best friend's girl. Yep.
Used to be mine.
She used to be mine.
Let's see. Hook says, and she used to be mine. A great line also. Yeah. Picture yourself in that situation as about a 16-year-old or something. I don't know how old he was when he wrote that song. What's the lead singer's name?
Kind of similar to
passed away, didn't he?
Similar to Jesse's girl.
Yeah. But please don't compare my song to Rick Springfield. Don't compare the Cars to Rick Springfield, please.
No, wait a minute, I like Jesse's girl.
I bet you do. You probably like Jesse's Boy.
It's a good tune from the 80s. Signature song.
It is his signature song because name another one.
You guys ever seen the show Californication with David Duchovny?
I've bits and pieces.
Well, Rick Springfield had a cameo in that show, and it was a pretty funny episode. I won't give any details because
he probably can't with the name of a show being that.
General Hospital years ago before that. When soap operas, wasn't he? Wasn't he on like General Hospital before that?
He might have been.
maybe even before the song.
You mean he was a soap opera actor?
I believe he was. I
Okay.
think he was.
I know somebody that went to see him in concert at Carowinds. Y'all know her too.
I figure when- I believe he was. I believe he was on General Hospital, something, one of the soaps.
I bet there weren't too many guys at that concert.
Right.
Maybe Mike. Mike, did
I
you
said
guys?
I liked the one song. After that, no.
Jesse's Girl?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's
Yeah.
like the tune.
General Hospital.
He was on General Hospital. Let's see. I would much rather see and listen to the Cars for many of their hits. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm glad that the old faithful out there, the people responding this morning, the Lennies and the Hooks and people that recognize the song. Selena responds and says there might have been 2 or 3 dads there maybe, but that was about it, right? As far as the males in the audience for Rick Springfield, which I'll ask this, maybe it's nothing for y'all. Who have you gone to see that you might have one time been embarrassed to tell? Anybody?
Embarrassed to tell.
You know, a lot of people would say, you know, me going to see Bon Jovi, you know, but I thought,
A little bro love there.
well, Bon Jovi's, you know, at least he's a rock and roller,
Rock and roll,
you
yeah.
know, and I did go see Bon Jovi.
Did you see a video of
At the
him?
last minute.
I don't know how recent this was, but there's a video of him talking somebody off a ledge,
This week.
off
Yep.
a off
Yeah,
a
he
bridge.
this week.
Yeah,
Sure
was
did.
it?
He's doing a video.
I thought it was
on
a
that
song.
bridge window.
Yeah.
That's what they said was.
Whose famous song is that? Third Eye Blind or Three Doors Down?
Oh yeah, Jumper. That's Third Eye
Jumper.
Blind.
Jumper.
Third Eye
Yeah.
Blind. I always get those two groups mixed up. I always get those
Yeah, it was
two.
similar names.
Third Eye Blind is from San Fran. I do know that.
Yeah, I've seen them twice.
What are you trying to say about them, Mike? Let's see here. Just What I Needed is a good song too, Hook says. That is a good
Yeah.
one. Cars have many good songs.
I love
Yeah.
the ballad, Who's Going to Take You Home Tonight? Is that the title of that one? Who's going to take you home? Drive you home tonight.
Drive is
Drive
yeah.
is the song.
Drive is the song. Yeah, it's a
Drive.
very slow song.
That's kind of different
Yep.
from some of their
Mhm.
stuff.
Don Revel says he had Rick Springfield on a flight recently,
He needs to reword that.
and he said
Yeah. Had him
he said his name on the manifest was Rick Springthorpe. That's kind of like Tony
Joe
Sperano.
Sperano. Oh Lord, he's not trying to hide himself too much,
Nah.
is he? Rick Springthorpe.
Rick Spring.
What if that's his real name?
Could be.
Maybe so.
Could be.
You know,
Could be.
It just doesn't sound authentic, does it? Just What I Needed, a good song. Hooks is getting a laugh out of this conversation, I can tell. Your mom says that is his name.
Springthorpe.
Yep,
Yep.
that is his name, and she would know. Rick Springthorpe.
I wonder what the worst.
That's kind of like Mellencamp, you know.
Yeah. What are some of the worst real names for stars, of course, who got a stage name and became famous under the stage name?
What I love about Mellencamp, and I'm not comparing him to Rick Springthorpe by no means.
Yeah.
But he decided,
What-
hey, I'm going back. I'm
He
going.
did. He
it
went
is-
back.
My
But
real
that
name.
once you're famous, I think you can go back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some names, it's just I think it's going to be hard to get real famous.
Yeah.
Like Bob Dylan, his last name was Zimmerman.
Robert Zimmerman.
Robert Zimmerman. That just
Yeah.
I don't know if you can be a huge successful
And that just does not
musician
make sense, does
named Robert Zimmerman.
No.
it? It does not make sense that, you know.
Yeah,
We're
I
going to
think-
learn that Taylor Swift is not her real name.
I don't know.
Probably.
You know, I mean, and I'm just thinking some others, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Grandmaster Flash. I'm just doubting that he was born Grandmaster Flash. Now, if he was, more power to him. But
How about Ice Cube? I don't
Ice
think
Cube,
that was his
Ice
real
Cube,
name.
Ice T.
Snoop
What else we got ice in? Ice Baby.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
Ice,
That's
yeah.
not his real name.
It's really chocolate. Oh man, let's see. Screw Swifty. That's our second screw of the morning here on, and that comes from Hooks this morning as well. Wait till she becomes part owner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep. Here's a good one. Don Rebel says Reginald Kenneth Dwight. You know who that is?
Reginald? I don't.
Not Ludacris, is it? No, he's Chris somebody.
Bridges, I think, is his last name. No, this is a famous pop rock musician from the.
Oh, that's
70s.
great. That's not. Don't let him tell us yet. You may already.
Oh,
know.
he told me, but yeah.
Let's not give that away yet. That's a good trivia question just to have out there. See if anybody knows. Now I know everybody's got buttons, and you can.
And it's not
look it up.
like Reggie something. It's not. It don't.
Right.
It don't make any
the
sense.
The name has nothing to do with it at all. Nothing to do with it at all. Here we go. Mike Painter says Taylor Swift's real name is. Y'all gonna love this. Taylor Hooks. He's getting you there, Hooks. Taylor Hooks is her.
He might wish it was.
Monetarily.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Oh, man. High school football. Let's go through some of the scores. We'll start. Let's see. Which date am I on? Let's start, I think, with last night. Two ranked teams going at it, Roseville and Cardinal Gibbons. Roseville last night down east wins 30-27 in a really good matchup of two powerhouse teams in 4A. Mike, Cape Fear beat Laney last night 30-14.
Yay, Max Cady.
How about the Golden Lions? Knocked off previously undefeated Olympic last night. Trailed for most of the first half. Took a lead in the second half and wound up winning over Olympic 35-24 to Shelby. I thought I was going to miss it for a while. I picked Shelby, but I had enough misses.
I should know not to pick against a Cleveland County school.
Hooks gives me the crazy face look here. Ned says, my daughter could tell you her whole name and birthday. Talking about Taylor Swift. Do you guys take anything away from Kelsey for dating Taylor Swift? Or, like in Mike Powell's case, is he your hero?
He's my hero. I mean, not only that, he made his brother Jason Kelsey famous by his association with Taylor. So they're both famous.
Yeah.
It says her name is Taylor Allison Swift.
Taylor Allison Swift.
Yep.
So she did not change it. How about that? Boy, the things we get into here on what we call sports talk. Lenny, were you prepared for this?
I know one fan that says we spend too much time on music. You and I both know him.
Well, throw it out there.
No, you know, the guy who thinks we spend too much time talking about music and not high school football.
Oh, he's asleep right now.
Yeah, he's asleep right now.
He spends too much time sleeping and critiquing.
Yeah.
He is the king of critiquing. Yes, Lenny, you got that trivia question right, Steve K.
Yep.
Steve K.
Steve K.
No, I thought he was talking about
What do you
Butch,
think the odds
Butch Parker.
are he's
I thought
Butch
he
likes music.
told us that last week.
Oh, no, Butch loves me. Yeah, Butch likes music.
Well, he might have told
Well,
us.
Steve K likes music.
He is awake. I don't know if he does or not. When you think the last time Steve K heard a song that was produced after the 70s?
Yeah, he's pretty much stuck in.
And don't get me wrong, all my favorite music is from the 70s back, but I still am a little bit aware of what's going on.
I try to keep up, but
Yeah.
I'm like you. I'm still stuck. My favorite music is 60s, 70s, little 80s, about it. And then I did like the 90s grunge thing a little bit.
This is good here. Hook sends me a message now. This is one I got wrong last night. I thought it'd be a close game. It was a close game, but I had the wrong winner. Crest scores with 1:07 left, punches in the 2-point try, then holds Charlotte Catholic out of the end zone twice from the 1-yard line. That's how close this game was last night. 27-21, a huge win for Crest at home last night to remain undefeated. And then the little tail line from Hooks says, "See, it's not Hooks, Painter." I guess he's talking about her name is not Hooks. And he's getting on Mike Painter, our good buddy, as well this morning for labeling her as a Hooks. I like it. Let's see. More scores from last night. Some of these actually are still blank. Now, I think some of the games that were to be played last night have moved to today. Brett's already told me Tarborough's playing today at noon.
Yeah, that's what the schedule says.
Against somebody. So some of the northeastern games got rained out last night. They did actually get some rain with their they had planned to play last night, but then didn't get to, I guess, at the last moment or whatever. Providence Day beat Country Day 63-15. Big news out of Providence Day, Brett. You want to give that? You the one told me.
Well, I've been reading for the last few days. Kendra Harrison was going back to Reidsville.
Ooh.
And he did not play for Providence Day last night. And from what I've read online, he was not even in attendance at that game. So the Reidsville people are expecting him back soon.
The rules state that if you go back to the school you left, you can play. You're eligible immediately.
Wow.
So
that's all what I've read on NC Preps.
Now, what has
I
to
didn't
happen?
read. I didn't read the rules, but
Because it's private, that you can play immediately. Is that what it is? Or any?
I think it's any. But now here's my question. Where's that check?
Yeah.
I also read that he has not received any NIL money so far.
Okay.
Oh, so he's
And I wonder if that makes a difference.
But I don't know if I'm just reading things that people from Reidsville are saying on NC Prep.
Right,
So
right.
you know,
Yep.
it's
Nothing official.
No,
If he didn't
Nothing
get
official.
If he didn't get a check, he's probably upset. I would think.
Well, maybe it comes at the end of the
yeah, I
season.
don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you
what
think about it,
how
why you
that-
want to give it to somebody and then all of a sudden they leave.
They leave.
How all that works.
And you know, if I'm giving him, I don't know what the figure is. I'm guessing it's more than $1,000. But let's just say I'm giving him $1,000. Okay, I'm giving him $100 a week.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not taking my chance that I give you the $1,000 and then you bolt out of here and go back. And you know, I'm not talking about him in individually. I'm talking about just the situation. But I'm not going to give any player. You know, I mean, you go.
Yeah,
pay
and
him
I
NIL
doubt
money,
he
it's gonna
moved to Charlotte for $1,000.
Right,
It'd
I
probably
know.
be
Yeah, well, let's say
a
10,000.
lot more than that.
And if you give him whatever the number is, you got to give it to him weekly. You know, you got to make sure he's going to be there. And I hate to say it, but earn it.
Right.
You know, I mean, you got to earn your NIL money for whatever reason. But and you said he hadn't received any yet, but that's just hearsay. That's what.
That's none of that's
What do we call
official.
those? What do we call those people that post all the time? That post the stuff that we.
I don't know.
I thought there was a name for it. Maybe not.
Agitators.
I just call them posters.
Poster. Well, maybe that's it.
Outside agitator.
And Reidsville's got a lot of them.
But not to be confused with Lenny's Farrah Fawcett poster back in the day, or Mike Powell. I'm sure Mike Powell.
His Rick Springfield poster.
Mike Powell's Rick Springfield
Oh,
poster.
yeah. Love me some Rick.
Hook says people say that he wouldn't get enough touches is the reason he went back to Reidsville.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
Well, what is he looking for? Stats? I mean,
know.
he's already a top recruit in the country. So.
and just to be playing for that team.
Yeah.
I mean, the number one player in the country came out of there last year, right?
Yeah.
The quarterback.
I think he's
Jay Davis.
just unhappy with,
And
maybe the whole
And
situation.
the number 5 this year come out of there as an offensive lineman.
And you know what? I don't know. Maybe I should just keep my mouth shut, but I'm going to guess that the offensive lineman wasn't begging for touches. You know, I mean, he was, and maybe it's different for linemen, but I mean, Harrison, everybody in the country knows him. I can't imagine he's not being recruited by everybody. Mm-hmm. And honestly, he had that before he ever left Reidsville.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who he was.
Yeah, he didn't need to go there for anything other than
check.
to make some money.
Make some
the
money.
only
To
reason.
me, it sounded like that's what it is.
Yeah.
That they didn't uphold it or.
No, I think he just got there and realized he wasn't happy. He
Yeah.
wanted to go back home.
And the lure of
Forget the
Reidsville,
money.
I mean,
I'd rather play for Reidsville and live in Reidsville.
Yep.
Right. The lure of Reidsville, that's where you grew up. And all
Yeah.
That. Yeah.
Now, he's got friends and family. I mean, family on the team. Deontay Neal, who's playing quarterback this year, I think they're related.
Yeah. Oh,
And
well.
maybe he found out playing for a private school is not the same as playing in your hometown with the stands full.
Yeah, right.
Every
Right.
Friday night.
It can't be. The best thing I heard in high school sports in a long time was, and I'm not being a homer because this guy's a Duke guy, but what was the North Met kid that's going to Duke?
Isaiah Evans.
Yeah.
Yep.
The great quote in the Charlotte Observer from him after the basketball, that he was asked why he didn't go to one of these Montverdes or Oak Hills, and he said, because I could stay and win a state championship with my friends.
And you commend that.
You know,
So
I mean,
That's
that's
today. It is. They go to those places.
very few people think that way.
That's
This
exactly
damn
right.
time.
That's
But I mean, he said I grew up here. I stay and try. He didn't know he was going to win it, but he said
Right.
I could stay here and try to win a championship.
No, they weren't even the favorite
with my
to win it.
friends, and he did it. And there again, I mean, how could he have got recruited any higher
Right.
if he left? I mean, he wasn't going to go anywhere, and be. Was he a 4 or 5 star?
he's a 5-star.
He's five.
I think he was 5-star, but he wasn't in the top 10 or
Right.
15. He was closer to 20, I think.
But you know what? I mean, I don't know this. My guess is from the get go he must have wanted to go to Duke, so it wasn't gonna matter if he, would you rather go to UConn right now than Duke? Probably so. But if you're from North Carolina, maybe not.
Yeah.
Hook says, talk back to talking about the Reidsville kid, which was going to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond, and had a lot of other good players around him. Probably wasn't getting enough touches. When everybody's as good as you may not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Get his.
I still just think he got there and he didn't know anybody and
Yeah.
was living in a new town and
Out of his element.
yeah.
I love we get all kind of stuff.
I agree with you, Brad.
Edwin says from a reliable source, it was also that he was not happy, had a hard time adjusting to the city and more. So, you know what? Hopefully, I ain't got nothing against the guy at all. I'm all for him.
No,
And I
I
hope
don't
he
either.
does well. I've enjoyed watching him play. And we've seen him a couple times over the last couple years in playoffs and state championships. But maybe this will be a lesson to future kids that think about doing this. Maybe they should call him up and say why. What were some of the reasons that you didn't like the situation, and maybe just stay where you are. Maybe just stay where you are.
And what you just said, if he had left a public school in Charlotte, went there, that's different.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Reidsville.
Yep.
And I'm not knocking Reidsville.
No,
But that's
no.
It's just
but that's
totally
a
different.
Totally,
Yeah.
Population is a little bit
That's
different.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I wouldn't want to go live in Charlotte. That's for sure. See what we can get back to. Lake Norman Charter over Pine Lake Prep, 27-7 last night.
Lake Norman Charter undefeated, 3-0, I think.
Are they?
Yeah.
Weddington and Butler. The only surprise here to me is how close this one was. A one-possession game. Weddington wins 27-19 over Butler. That's number 1 in the state overall against number 25 in the state overall. Look, Brett, and see, is Butler winless
0-4.
and still ranked? But look at the
0-4.
schedule
But
they played.
so many out of state, wouldn't it?
0-4.
Yeah.
0-4.
0-4.
I would not want to play them in the playoffs. Because if you played Weddington, who is number 1, at their place to a one-possession game.
They lost to Roseville by 50.
By 50.
Yeah.
They lost to Richmond 26-7. They lost to Irmo, South Carolina 35-34.
And then last
and now
night.
Weddington.
You know what that tells me? Roseville is my favorite to win the 4A
Yeah.
state. If they beat them by 50, now maybe they didn't
And
get everybody.
I would say Butler's got a few easy games coming up, but their last 2 are Catholic and Independence. That's their 2 conference rivals.
Well, Both of them are good. Catholic and Independence. Both
Butler's. Well, unless they end up winning the conference, they're going to be a really low seed.
We'll get our third screw of the morning. Screw Charlotte. Says Hooks. We're on a roll with that subject this morning, but we've got a what's the word I'm looking for our crowd this morning? Our audience this morning is bitter.
Yeah.
Bitter might be the word that I'm looking for.
It's DirecTV, Taylor Swift, and Charlotte.
Yeah, 3 targets.
The 3 top topics of the day. How about Burlington Cummings on their way back or not? 56-20 over Bartlett Yancey. Now, don't get me wrong, Bartlett Yancey is not the greatest right now. Do love their logo. The
Cummings is 3-1.
Yeah. Who was the loss to?
Western Alamance.
That's not too bad.
They're also 3-1. So, no, I think Cummings is probably pretty good again. They were good last year. They play in the East now, so which I guess they were always borderline, but so they were in the Eastern playoffs last year. I think they made a pretty good run though.
Did you notice that Corvian Community 57, Garinger 0?
Ned just loves you, Mike.
Yeah, Corvian is a 1A school, and they've beaten like 3 or 4 4A schools. And now, not the greatest 4A schools,
right,
obviously.
Right.
But
let's put them up against Roseville.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Just to see. Speaking of 4A, Independence rolled over South Meck, and I'm going to tell you, South Meck's not bad. And this was 40-13. So Independence has got a good team again. I think they may be undefeated. It's early, but some of these teams play gauntlets for schedules. So we'll just have to
Independence is 4-0.
Yeah, yep, off to a good start. Ranked number 8. Starmount over North Wilkes, 58-0 last night. Who took that Starmount job?
I have no idea.
We know that what's the guy's name from Crest that went there? He came back to
Floyd.
Greg
He's
Floyd.
at Crest now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was at Kings Mountain.
Yeah. That's a strange.
Yeah, I was trying to find Starmount.
Map.
Click on him and see if it showed who the coach is.
Route follower.
Not that. We might not know.
Seems like it's a Starmount alum.
It doesn't say the head coach's name.
And sometimes that just works out best for you.
Yep.
They are 3-0.
Yep, Starmount off to a 3-0 start. 58-0 over.
They hadn't given up a point yet.
Haven't given up a point.
Oh.
Now they play Mount Airy in 2 weeks, so that'll be their toughest test.
Yeah, I'd bet on Mount Airy in just about every game until we got to some of the 4A squads. They have really been solid, even with a new coach this year. They haven't missed a beat, have they? Seem pretty strong. A.L. Brown over South Rowan, 41-14. Heidi Trask over Dixon, 36-35. Brevard over North Buncombe, 56-14. Brevard's I think they're undefeated. It's early, but I think they're 3 or 4-0 here early. Lake Norman High, Mike Powell, 22-16 over Marvin Ridge.
That was a really good game.
Brevard's 2-2.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. They lost to Irwin, and I don't know who this other school is. Oh, Knoxville Catholic.
Oh, it's hard to count that one.
Yeah.
Vance County over Northern Durham, 28-0. Hoggard over J.H. Rose, 45-6. South Iredale rolls over Piedmont, 41-17. Ardrey Cale falls to Charlotte Christian. Christian wins 39-7. I'm going to have to get to Thursday here in a minute and give you up to date on some of those games that were played on Thursday night. Central Cabarrus falls to J.M. Robinson. J.M. Robinson a winner 49-0 in that one. Myers Park loses to Richmond County. This is the biggest win Richmond County's had probably in the last 5 years, would you say, Brett? They've been down a little bit.
Yeah.
But last night they get a road win. No, I'm sorry, a home win over number 22 Myers Park, 21-10 for Richmond County.
Well, they've got 2 wins now, and they were Butler and Myers Park.
God, who beat them?
They lost to 71st and Cardinal Gibbons.
71st played in the state championship last year.
Another really tough schedule.
Cardinal Gibbons. Just
Yeah, I would say so. Reidsville over Eastern Alamance 45-14. North Davidson over Walkertown 21-20. Freedom. You can't really judge this one, but Freedom off to a good start. Last night played Gaffney at Gaffney, lose 31-0. So that just tells you how good Gaffney is year in and year out.
Yes.
Asheboro over Providence Grove 17-10. Watauga, this one surprised me, not by the winner, but by the margin. AC Reynolds and Watauga. Watauga wins 48-21 last night. It was 30-something-7 at one time, 34-7 I think at one time. AC Reynolds whacks Shelby.
51 points.
Yeah.
They're just 1-3 now. It's
That's their only win.
Yeah.
Now they do play a tough
their
schedule.
other losses
Oh, yeah.
were West Forsyth and East Forsyth.
Yeah.
The Forsyth.
But I just could not believe that they were beaten by Watauga that soundly. 48-21 last night.
That makes Maiden feel a lot better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maiden hanging in the game with Watauga a week ago. Crest over Charlotte Catholic, 27-21. It also improves Maiden's RPI
Yeah.
for them to go in there and beat a 4A school, Catholic, or not Catholic, but Watauga to do that. Watauga 3 or 4A? They're 4A too, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep. Swain County falls to Tuscola, 42-8. This is a score you don't see much in high school anymore. East Henderson over Owen. The winner had 3. 3-0
3-0
in that one. RS Central falls to Chesney, South Carolina, 28-24. Thomasville over Ben L. Smith, 13-8. Mount Airy, we already gave that one, 42-0 over Ashe County. Or did we? Maybe we just talked about them for a moment. And let's see, that's pretty much Randleman, who defeated Bunker Hill a week ago, gave the Bears their first loss. They beat Union Pines last night. Randleman does 21-7.
That was Union Pines' first loss.
Okay. So Randleman.
I think Randleman's ranked pretty high in the 2A
we figured that they were
West.
A pretty solid team, that's for sure. Getting all kind of messages here. I'll get to those in a minute. I want to finish my scoreboard. On Thursday night, the game of the night had to be North Lincoln and East Rutherford. Both these teams had 2 touchdown leads in the game. And what happened to defense? Where did the defense go? 56-55. We might see this score later in basketball. 56-55, North Lincoln edges out East Rutherford on the road. And North Lincoln moves to 3-0.
Have you got the stats from that game yet? I want to see them.
I don't have individual. I think I do have. What I have is
team stats.
Yep, I do have that. East Gaston Ashbrook. It was Ashbrook still undefeated. The Green Wave.
Yeah, maybe their year.
Who's the coach there, Lenny?
He's new. He's not. I don't know his name.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He is new.
But this is. We're usually talking about Ashbrook for other reasons.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ashbrook right now because they're good. They looking like a really good team. 50-7 over East Gaston to move. And you know, don't say anything about who they played in Kings like that. In the past, at this point, Ashbrook would be 1-3.
Yeah.
And they're 4-0, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they're off to a really
I
good
saw they had a
start.
linebacker that received offers from Carolina and Liberty this week. Ashbrook, a junior linebacker. It says, I was just looking at Max Prep.
Good to see.
I don't know if these stats are how accurate they are, but it says East Rutherford had 421 passing yards against North Lincoln, 202 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So over 600 total yards.
If you're going to score 55 points, you're going to rack up
and then
some
it says
yards.
North Lincoln had 410 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
Any passing? It doesn't say.
it says 1 for 4 for 28 yards
Yeah.
That's
and a
about right.
touchdown.
But it happened to be a touchdown. You know, think about it.
I mean,
without it, they don't win the game.
Do we call North Lincoln's defense into question a little bit after that one? I don't know.
Yeah.
You think?
I would. They get
I
up
thought it was
600
pretty
yards.
solid.
And
I thought
It's
it
been a
was
little suspect
55
Yeah.
for a
points.
North Lincoln team because their defense is what they usually live on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think they're a little weak in the secondary, and
Yep.
that might not be good when they play Hickory.
Yeah, I think that's if there is one, maybe the second.
Thank you, Roger. Roger listening this morning says Wingate had 28 carries, 227, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I figured he had a big
on the night. Yep. Hook says both defenses played well. Both defenses played well. The offense is just better.
Played a lot.
Yeah, they did.
They definitely were on the field a lot.
Yep. Both defenses played well. The offense just played a little better. I don't know about a little better.
I'd say light years better.
Yep. Got some more messages rolling in here. I do want to finish the scoreboard, though, before I get to any messages. I just need to lay that thing down for a minute. That East Rutherford and North Lincoln game, though, will be one of the highlights of the year on the high school scoreboard. It was strange. I did hear this, that East Rutherford scored a touchdown, went up 7, and then went for 2 to try to put it a 9-point where it'd be out of reach. Didn't get it. And it allowed North Lincoln, left the door open. They come back and win 56-55. Mitchell over Andrews, 35-34. Very competitive game up in the mountains. East Meck falls to Monroe. How good is Monroe? I don't know anything about their record or anything, but they beat 4A East Meck 63-0.
They're 3-0.
3-0?
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect any different, right?
East Meck's 0-4.
0-4.
Did you give North Iredale Mountain Island Charter score?
Mike, I still got a lot of them on here.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think so. Go ahead.
21-7 North Iredale won it. And are they undefeated? I mean, they're off to a pretty good start, North Iredale is, in which they never are. But
At 1-3.
is that what it is? A little bit better than 1-3.
No, I don't know what they are. I thought they lost last week, though.
They may have.
Or they lost to Alexander Central maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure. Brett might check that out for you. I'm not sure.
See if I can find them.
Yep. Let's see. We did East Meck and Monroe. We got Porter Ridge, West Cabarrus. Porter Ridge a winner 41-7. West Stanley and North Stanley. I bet this one had a terrific finish. 38-37 North Stanley. Murphy over Smoky Mountain 22-14. Surrey Central over Elkin 33-3. Drone over Chase 34-28. Northwest Cabarrus 16, Mount Pleasant 14. Hickory gives up 27 points.
Yeah.
But they score 69. No worries. 69-27 Hickory over Cox Mill on Thursday night. Highland Tech 70-0 over Triangle Math and Science. I've already got a message this morning that said Highland Tech 3-0.
3-0, undefeated
3-0 on the season.
After breaking a 34-game losing streak, they're 3-0.
Do you think they win 34 in a row? Can match that streak. Would that
multiple state championships?
Yeah, it would. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, they had.
You're correct, David. 1-3, North Iredale.
North Iredale. That's what I thought. I mean,
I was misinformed then. I thought they were.
And they lost like the West Iredale.
Yeah,
like
West Iredale. West Iredale. You know, Wilson was at West Iredale. That's now at Newton Conover. Yeah. He turned them around.
Oh, yeah, real quick.
And it's continuing. West Iredale.
West Iredale, they lost them. They lost South Iredale and Alexander Central.
I'm telling you right now, everybody's, West Iredale is in a tough conference with Hickory and Statesville and North Lincoln and East Lincoln. Mm-hmm. But they might beat one of those teams. You better be careful. West Iredale, sneaky good right now.
Well, didn't they play East Lincoln real close last year?
They may have.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they may have.
But I don't.
That conference
I don't know how good Statesville is. I don't think they'll beat East Lincoln or Hickory from what I've seen.
Is that conference the best 3A conference in the state?
I don't know. Well, you got the one with South Point, Kings Mountain.
I was going to say the Big
Crest.
South 3A.
Well, the last time those schools were hooked up head-to-head, I do remember East Lincoln blowing out Kings Mountain.
Right. Well, here's the deal. That
nobody's going to beat Hickory.
Well, they got the last two state champions, East Lincoln and Hickory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll take it. I'll take it over that conference right now.
Yeah.
And you got to throw Ashbrook in this year. Ashbrook's pretty good.
And this ain't no knock on South Point, but I think they're down a little bit.
Knock 'em.
You know?
It's okay if they knock them.
Come from an East Gaston guy.
Yeah, like a Black Friday guy.
I like it. The word screw will probably pop up again here at some point in the show. We'll just have to wait and see.
Why did they stop Black Friday? You were no East Gaston guy.
You know, I wanted to see Hickory and
I
Crest
heard
play
different
last
reasons,
year,
Mike. I
and
don't-
Crest got beat the week before by
By-
Dudley. The
Yeah,
week
I heard
before it would have happened.
That's the night there was a ton of us over at Bridges eating barbecue, right?
Yeah.
And we were, we had decided we were going to see Shelby, and I was talking to Mike Harrell and God help me, why am I blank on Mark Lackey?
Yeah. Yeah, they were
And,
going to Crest.
No, they weren't. And I said something about, I think that'll be a better game. And they texted me 30 minutes later and said, we're at Crest. They were not going to Crest.
And we went to Shelby and Forest Hills,
Shelby and
which
Forest
turned out to
Hills.
be a pretty good
It did.
game.
It did. Yep. And Forest Hills has a surprise loss this year, do they not? Somebody, they got a great receiver. Isn't he back? The guy that was their top receiver last year in that game against Shelby.
Yeah, he wasn't a senior last year.
Yeah, I think he's.
So I guess he's back.
Yeah, we never know, right? He might not be.
I think they
playing.
lost a ton of seniors though.
But yeah, they've. I don't know. I don't really remember. I can't tell you.
Yeah, they lost to somebody.
I'm gonna be like Mike Powell. I
Couple
can't
weeks
tell you
ago.
if they're 1-3 or 3-1. But Mike had North Iredale undefeated. But
Obviously, I was misinformed.
well, don't give your
Their season
source.
Their season started this.
Lenny, you need to
week.
put your microphone.
Their season started this week.
Raise your microphone up.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. We like to hear you.
Forest Hills is 2-2.
2-2.
They lost to Ashbrook and Walkertown. They beat North Rowan and Community School of Davidson.
Okay. I'm gonna say they're just a notch above average right now. Just one
Yeah,
notch.
definitely not as good as they were last year.
Right. Yeah, because they would have won at least one of those other games, I would think. Irwin over West Henderson, 27-21. This is a deep scoreboard here. McDowell over Avery, 49-21. Bandy's the winner don't surprise me, but the 5-6 margin does. Over 4A South Caldwell, Bandy's 35-6 in that one. Bandy's 3-0. Brett, 4-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
3-0.
And that is the conference opener for West Lincoln Bandies, right?
That'll be a good one. That'll be a good draw right there.
Where is that?
I have to look at our schedule.
It's
I hope
West
that's where
Lincoln.
we're at.
It's at West, Mike.
Is it at West?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that's where we're at. I have
Okay,
to check
then
the schedule.
Football Friday night had it wrong because that's going
I'm
to be
pretty
one
sure
of
it's
their
at
feature
West.
games. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your other options are
But he did
East
right.
Lincoln and Hickory, right?
Yeah.
North Lincoln
Yeah.
and Statesville, Lincoln at Bunker Hill.
That's a
None of them are
good
bad.
choice.
No, I don't think you'd really go wrong.
You can't
None,
go wrong.
none of them are bad.
Now, if that one game is at Statesville, then you could make a
Yeah.
bad decision there.
Yep. Well,
I don't know where it is. I think North Lincoln's at home against
They
Statesville,
are.
and then they're at Hickory.
yeah, that's right, isn't it, Hooks? North at home versus Statesville, then away at Hickory.
Wow, all those games are.
Well, you know what?
The one I wouldn't
East Lincoln
choose
and
is
Hickory.
Lincoln and Bunker Hill.
East
would
Lincoln
be-
and Hickory could be. I mean, Hickory's favored in every
that
game
could be
they
for
play.
a conference championship.
Yeah, I mean, but that if East Lincoln is one of the teams out there that you have to say is capable of pulling the upset,
Yeah.
because they've played well early.
Because of their offense, that's possible.
Yeah. And Statesville did give up 27 last night. I know they gave the other team many possessions, and I'm guessing some of those maybe came late. But I mean, you just never know how the game went.
Who did they beat?
Was it Cox?
Oh, you're talking about Hickory. You said
Yeah.
Statesville, but you meant
Did I say
you meant
Statesville?
Hickory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was say Statesville haven't been
No, they ain't giving
scoring
up.
much or
No,
giving up.
No,
up now.
Yeah, those 27 points.
but I don't think
that's
Statesville's
about-
quite as good as they were last year. I may be wrong.
That was mop-up time, the 27 Hickory gave up, I figure.
Yes.
Statesville's beaten Alexander Central, Lake Norman, and South Iredale. All pretty close games.
This is great. I love it when Hooks and Painter, and we need a show called Hooks and Painter, or Painter Hooks. They go back and forth. Painter misinformed pal. And then he says Statesville is at North. That may be if you had to give spreads in these games, that may be the tightest one. If we pick spread for a game, would be
I agree.
Statesville at North.
Well,
next week
seems like North Lincoln's been playing really high scoring games.
And Statesville opposite.
Yeah, their last game was 6-0.
Boy, this is Statesville. All these heavyweight games early in that conference. Because Hickory plays East Lincoln and North Lincoln. Statesville plays East Lincoln and North Lincoln. And then there's nothing left to the last, I'm not knocking the rest of the teams, believe me. But the big game then is at the end of the season when Hickory plays Statesville and East plays North.
Yeah. It's so front-loaded, those first 2 weeks.
Well, and, I'm guessing that whenever they had, the conference meeting, they just drew schedules, and that's the way it came out, Except you get to pick, your rival, and you get to have them last, and most conferences do that.
Right.
Rumor has it starting quarterback for Statesville got hurt in the Lake Norman game, and the backup is not as good. So obviously the backup's not as good, or he'd be playing, right? Let's see.
So that probably explains why they only scored 6. Last game.
Don Revels is taking me all the way back to Rick Springthorpe here. He says, I'm bitter because you guys were busting on Rick Springthorpe. I love it. And then Good Morning Sports Talk. This comes from Joseph Breimer, Morning Sports Talk guys covering the Cadence.
Where does he want to go?
Candace, excuse me. I can't even read.
The Candace Long Helms Memorial
5K.
Race. 5K.
Yep, the 5K this morning.
A very good cause.
Yep, and you know what? It's not one of those mornings that I like out there. It is very humid this morning. It feels like it's hot because the humidity is so high out there this morning. We've had some really nice mornings for September so far, but now that we're about halfway through, just not maybe it'll come back this week. Maybe it'll come back this week.
I wonder if Joey's also doing the Food, Wine, and Brew Fest in Lincoln. And
what's that got to do with sports talk?
Nothing, but could be one of his assignments.
Let's see. I think I gave Bandy South Caldwell, Salisbury 38-7 last night over Person. Hendersonville falls to Mountain Heritage. Mountain Heritage 42-7. Is Mountain Heritage back? Are they?
They appear to be.
Yep. He said yes, Mike. He's listening, so he said that the answer to your question is yes. Okay. West Iredell beat West Wilkes 37-22, so there's your West Iredell win. North Gaston over Cherryville last night. Mike, you attended that game on Thursday, I should say, 35-2.
You know what the score was at the half? You're not going to believe it.
2-0.
2-0 Cherryville.
Wow. I did not know.
Yes.
I did not know the answer.
Cherryville.
But just by the way you asked that question, I thought it had to be a lot closer. So I went with the weirdest thing I could.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. I started to say 3-2, but with them getting 35, I'm guessing they got 5 touchdowns and no field goals. So 2-0 at halftime. Wow. I hate that. Tough night for Cherryville.
And now
Tough second half.
And now Cherryville has Shelby for its homecoming game next week.
Shelby's down.
Thank you. So they may not score 70. Maybe it'll be in the 50s.
Anyway. What was that joke that goes way back? Oh, man. Saying Shelby's down reminded me of some joke that we used to tell a lot. I can't remember. Maybe it might even be one we can't even tell on the air. But, it'll hit me sometime, probably at breakfast. Burns over Alexander Central 28-7. South Point over High Brighton 30-14. West Stokes, North Surrey, who'd they beat last week and just absolutely drilled? North Surrey did. It was somebody pretty good that they beat like something to nothing. Well, West Stokes under new head coach, help me.
Trent Lohman.
Yep. Got it going on, 24-13 over North Surrey on the road.
North Surrey beat South Caldwell last week.
Yeah, I'll buy a lot.
37-6.
Yep. East Surrey over South Stokes. That's Lohman's former school. East Surrey, 48-3 in that. Maiden over St. Stephen's, 29-6. Hazel and Pisgah. Pisgah wins 30-0, and Whiteville over Clinton. The dark horses are seeing some dark days right now since the entire staff went to South Carolina, the coaching staff last year. 42-7, Whiteville wins that one. We are well past our time for a timeout. Mike, Brett, who's got lyrics? Lenny?
Go ahead, Mike.
Anybody?
Oh, okay. Give me a second here.
Give me a second here.
Okay, I'll give you 2 lines. Many times I tried to tell you, many times I cried alone.
There you go. Back in a moment.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
For where 2 or 3 have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
The game is about to start.
What the?
You finally put the kids to sleep.
Sweet dreams. No, the battery.
Your dinner guests will be here in 5 minutes.
Not now. Oh.
Mr. Sparky electricians are around the corner and ready to help. Call Mr. Sparky today for any electrical need.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln now have 4 North Carolina licensed state inspectors on site. Need automotive work? They are the best. Oil changes, brakes, car detailing, and suspension work. You'll be in and out before you know it. Stop in and see the guys at Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln. Hours of business, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-240-3061. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance.
Notary services available on site as well.
Where does the time go? Man, this thing's flying by this morning.
It's not.
I know.
Oh.
I know. Yeah.
I hadn't even looked at college football.
Yeah, we're way behind. Let's see. Hook says both North Lincoln backs probably over 100 yards. Bassani had over a dozen tackles in that game the other night. Yeah. I know Nick Beisel, and I've known him a long time, and I mean a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he slept with his team giving up 55
he
points.
doesn't like that.
It made it a little better that they won the game.
Yeah.
But giving up 55, he's probably still rolling
in
his sleep. But he'll get that fixed. I would guess. He's a defensive guy, number one. So,
but he does have a terrific offensive team.
No, he does. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have won the other night if he didn't.
That's right.
Yep, they would have come up on the short end of that had the offense not been really good. Give us those lyrics again, Mike. We got to get those, and we got to move on to Brett and Lenny.
While we were away, it's a solo artist. The song came out in 1984. So
yep.
Many times I tried to tell you, many times I cried alone. Always I'm surprised how well you cut my feelings to the bone. Don't want to leave you, really. I'm invested too much time to give you up that easy to the doubts that complicate your mind. I don't believe you're going to get this one.
I've heard him. I mean, but, you know.
Yeah.
He said solo artist, early 80s.
84.
84.
Man, I could even tell you the gender of the artist.
Well, that used to be a 50-50 thing. Maybe it's not anymore. It's not a female.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then I had it all wrong in my head then.
Yeah, it is.
Melissa Etheridge.
Good guess. Sensitive kind of song about.
Just tell me it's wrong.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Just say no.
I don't know if she was quite around yet in 84.
I don't think so either.
Rock.
On the scene. She was around.
Definitely rock.
How about,
yep.
Pat Benatar?
I get a Pat Benatar here. I got a Pat Benatar from Hooks.
That's it, but do you know the name of the song?
Hell is for Children. I don't know.
No.
How about, I got another Pat Benatar. We Belong.
You got it.
We belong.
We belong. We belong to the light. We belong to the thunder.
Lenny, you got one?
Yep.
We're going to throw it out there right quick. We'll say Brett's for last. We don't want anybody to miss on their lyrics.
Slide up a little bit, Lenny.
Well, have you seen that girl in the corner? I'd like to take her out of her chains.
Yep, I know that one.
Have you seen that girl in the corner?
Yeah.
I'd like to take her out of her chains.
Yep.
Got two more lines, but that's...
Yeah, I know that song. I just have to think a minute on what the lyrics are. Biggest surprise, high school football on Thursday or Friday? Anything? My biggest surprise is the over 100 points scored in that game.
Yeah.
North Lincoln.
Yeah, that's me too.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to go Bob Welch.
You got it. and it's not the baseball player.
Nope. Nope.
Correct. Ebony Eyes.
Yep, Ebony Eyes. I remember that one. I don't think Brett would have got that one.
No, I don't know that.
And I'm not sure Mike would have got that one.
No, I wouldn't.
And the only answer I got so far was Ned saying, don't know Lenny's. But, yes, the Bob Welch.
Wouldn't it have been in the 70s,
Ebony Eyes.
David, sometime in the late 70s?
Yeah. Yep. That was Bob Welch was. I always liked Bob Welch as an artist, but he's. It would be close maybe who did more drugs, him or the baseball player. But nah, shouldn't say that, right?
Right.
I don't know either one. I don't know if either one did. I know that the baseball player did have some struggles with issues like that, didn't he?
I think he
back
did.
in the day.
Him and as a reliever for the Dodgers. I can't think his name. It had a lot.
Happened to be a Dodger, Brett.
A lot of trouble. I can't remember his
name. He pitched for other teams too.
Yeah.
But
Oakland. I think he pitched Oakland.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I can picture him in that Oakland uniform. Anybody else got a surprise on high school football? Anything that out of character, out of the blue? We had a fun week of picks. Brett, how many did you miss? 2?
I think 2.
I think I missed 3, maybe more.
I think I missed 4.
4? Yeah, I mean, it was tough this week because we had some really good matchups. And some of those came down to some of them came down to the very end. So, locally, East Lincoln, North Lincoln, Maiden, Bandy's getting wins.
I had all those right.
Yep. And, of course, for a lot of teams, not everybody, but for a lot of teams, conference play begins in 6 days, So, we're already past that first hurdle of getting through non-conference, especially for CVAC and for the Western Foothills.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that the Western Foothills 3A is Hickory. I mean,
it's theirs to lose.
Theirs to lose. CVAC, does that look wide open?
It is wide open. That's
what I was thinking.
Yep. I'll go with Maiden.
Yeah.
I'll go with Maiden.
I think
as my conference.
I'd say
champ.
Maiden and Bunker Hill are probably the 2 favorites.
And they play what? Like maybe the 3rd game or might be the 4th game of conference. It's a
I'm
while
not sure.
before they play each other.
But I wonder if Bandy's could play a factor in it too.
Yeah.
We saw them in the Jamboree, and they didn't look real good.
No. But you know what? We've come to determine that a lot of teams, if you don't look good in your scrimmage, you have a good season.
Yeah.
And if you do look good, then all of a sudden the season's not so good.
I see nobody's mentioning West Lincoln, which
West
has been a
Lincoln
factor.
is what scares everybody is the overtime.
Yeah.
The overtime game with
Ford.
With Ford, I think has scared us a little bit. But you know what? If they come back and they beat Bandy's, then I throw them right back in the mix. I mean, it's just that simple.
That's a big game.
Yep. And so where is that one? At West? Lincoln said at West, right?
Got Maiden the week after.
Maiden's right after.
Well, that'll tell the tale.
And then Bunker Hill.
Wow.
It seems like that's where their schedule's been the last several years.
That is a gauntlet. Bunker Hill after those 2?
Let's not talk about who made the schedule.
Well,
you.
I figured
it wasn't me, really. It wasn't me.
You just roll over. And
this schedule's just like it has been the last 3 years. Yeah. And it's just flip-flop home sites. That's the only thing. That's all you do.
Normally that probably works better.
It just flip-flops home sites. But, boy, next year's schedule is the one I can't wait to see.
That schedule was before you.
It was. That's right. That's right. It was.
That's the legacy of Butch Parker.
Well, I think it's one of those things where
I think like I say, you
draw your schedule.
Yeah.
You know who you're going to play the last game.
That's right.
And everything else is just, by chance.
And you don't complicate it. If you can, it's complicated enough, I'm sure.
Hook says that Mike Painter made the schedule.
No.
And Painter's not defending himself right now. We'll have to check out.
Let's hope he's not. If he's on duty.
That's true.
Or if he's off duty.
Oh, me. Let's see. I was trying to find. Mike Powell said we haven't even been through the
college football.
College football.
Yeah, the college football of the morning here. And did anybody play last night?
Oh yeah.
I watched a game, but I can't remember who it was. Who?
There were 2 games.
UNLV. That's who I watched. Yeah. UNLV won the game.
They knocked off Kansas.
Yeah.
And Kansas
knocked
State
off
played
Kansas.
Arizona, didn't it? Who won?
It's not basketball, Mike.
Yep.
They knocked off Kansas. Was Kansas previously undefeated?
No.
That's the only time I'd used knocked off.
They'd already lost one.
Although their program has gotten better in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
No longer.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And last night was a good game. What I saw of it.
Oh, I heard people pick them to win the Big 12 this year.
That's what I mean. So, they lose to UNLV.
And they still can because they haven't played a conference game yet, but they're 1-2.
Picked them.
How about the way Kansas State, number 14, handled number 20 Arizona, 31-7. That's
Kansas State looked pretty good.
K-State's always pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you who their coach is now, but was it Snyder? That was Bill Snyder
for years, but I don't know now.
Didn't he leave for a year or two and then come right back?
Yeah,
I believe he did. I believe you're right.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you who the coach there now is. But they're always pretty good, and don't be surprised if some point they make the playoffs one of these days. I mean, I don't know. They're in.
Big 12.
The Big 12. Does the Big 12 automatically get a?
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will the new conference that we heard about this week,
Oh, the dregs of the old Pac-12.
will they get an automatic berth?
Well, I don't know.
Boise State's going to be in it. Oregon State, Washington State. How can they not give those?
San Diego State.
How can you not give those
Yeah,
teams an automatic berth?
They got to get a bye. Yeah.
A bye.
Well, a berth. A berth, I should say.
They have to earn that bye.
Yeah. I would say a berth.
No. Does that start next year?
I don't know.
I was just curious. I mean,
I don't even know all the teams in it. That's the only three I know.
Mountain West, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was the Mountain
the
West.
old Mountain West.
Old Mountain West.
But now BYU's in a Power
in the
5,
They're
right?
in the Big 12.
They're in the
now.
Big 12.
Yeah. I think that will.
They're in the Big 12. Utah's in the Big 12.
Yeah, I think that'll help both those programs.
Arizona, the Big 12.
And Arizona State's in the Big 12.
Arizona
Now
State.
I got Lenny talking in his mic and Mike not talking.
West
in his
Virginia,
mic.
they're in there. They're in the Big 12.
Can't hear you, Mike, pal.
Oh.
Your microphone's still over to your side. Yeah. Alabama, Wisconsin. Is that the highlight game of the day? Both teams 2-0. You know what I hate about that? It's at high noon.
Yep.
High noon. But, which means that's 11 a.m.
In Wisconsin.
In Madison, Wisconsin. That's 11 a.m. start. Would that affect Alabama? Probably won't score but 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Really don't know if they're that good, if they're capable of doing that or not.
Everybody's talking about that LSU South Carolina game. That's also
South Carolina had a big win last week.
Yeah.
They blew out Kentucky.
Yeah,
and I didn't expect that.
No.
See that.
Now they barely beat Old Dominion their first game.
Wow, how bad's Kentucky got? Because they were good last year. That was a good football team last year. Don't one of the brothers coach them? What's his name?
Mark Stoops.
Stoops, yeah.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Well, they got Georgia today.
Oh, well.
See, last year, that was when they played Georgia. Georgia blew them away, but they thought that was going to be a good game last year.
Yeah.
They probably
fairly late in the year.
Could they have been looking ahead to Georgia last week when you can't look ahead?
No.
Especially in a conference game. Jason says the new Pac-12 will start in 26. They have to get to 8 teams in the conference to remain at the FBS level. Well, I think they can do that. I hope they can anyway. Ned says Bunker Hill at Maiden on October the 18th is when they play. That's not that. Yeah, it is. About a month away. College game day will be where today? Anybody know?
Madison, maybe? I don't know. Just a guess.
I don't know. I don't see anything that really stands out here.
Comes from Hooks, and he said, first thing he said to me is Colorado State will be good today.
Oregon and Oregon State.
Oregon State. I like Oregon in that one.
Now that game's on Fox, so they won't be there.
Game day today is in Columbia.
Boston College of Missouri. No, okay. Not
LSU.
Columbia, Missouri.
No, not Columbia, Missouri. Although, watch out for the Mizzou Tigers, Mike Powell. Watch out.
Yep.
Possible playoff team.
Could be.
I just gave them the kiss of death. They'll lose today.
Have they given up any points this season?
I don't know.
No. They beat Murray State and Buffalo 51-0 and 38-0.
I think Boston College can give them a game.
Where that?
At Missouri.
At Missouri.
Okay.
Boston College has wins over Florida State and Duquesne.
I'll give Mike Powell 10 points if he wants that bet. 10 points in BC.
Well, the spread's 14.5.
I'll give him 10. He said they could play with him. What do you consider not playing with them?
Well, I'd say if they were within 14, that's playing with
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, 2 scores. I'd say within 2 scores.
So what if it's 15?
Oh.
They weren't ever in the game?
No.
Alabama, Wisconsin, Oklahoma State, and Tulsa.
Tulsa time.
Kevin Wilson.
Wilson.
I think his team lost last week, didn't
They're
it?
1-1.
1-1?
Yep, Arkansas State beat them.
Arkansas State knocked them off last week. LSU, South Carolina. That might have been worth the 2-hour drive to Columbia to see. That'd be a pretty good game, wouldn't it? If South Carolina plays like they did a week ago, I mean, we just never know what they may do down the line. Michigan is at home to take on that Arkansas State team that is 2-0. Boston College at Missouri, and as Brett said, the line says 14.5. Oregon and Oregon State. Oregon is favored by 17 in that one. Miami and Ball State. Is Miami back?
I think they're pretty good.
They got the quarterback out of Washington State, Cam Ward. I think they're back.
I think they're pretty good. We'll just have to wait. It's still time. But
for me, back for Miami would mean everybody's talking about them, and they're not there yet.
Yeah,
no,
they're not there yet.
Well, they looked awfully good.
I really believe.
Well, if you have to be back to that team that had Ray Lewis and all them on it, they're never going to be there because that was a once-in-a-lifetime team.
Right.
But no, they had like a 20-year run where they were one of the top teams.
If
and
they're
they
ever
were
going to get back, it's now.
They received a lot of attention.
Would you pick them to win the ACC right now?
I already did. I already did that.
Yeah, he did before the season started.
Because, look, Virginia Tech's been a vast disappointment.
They got the best quarterback.
Yeah, Cam Ward appears to be the best quarterback in the conference.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Ned says, I'm liking the 12 noon kickoff since Disney and DirecTV stink. All I have got at the hotel is the big noon on Fox. Well, I'm going to say, Ned, all this talk, you should have picked a different hotel.
Yeah.
Jason says College game day was originally scheduled to go to Kentucky, but when they got beat by South Carolina, they decided to go to South Carolina. Wow, I like that. See you, Wildcats. That's what they said. See you, Wildcats. Maybe next time. We're not going to come to Kentucky after all. They should not announce. You know, that's kind of wrong. If you're expecting them to come in there and then all of a sudden you lose and you lose bad and they don't come. Don't announce where you're going till Sunday. You know, just wait till Sunday after the games have been played to announce where you're going. Kind of cold there. What did you say, Hooks? Screw 'em. Oklahoma at home to take on the big green wave, Mike, of Tulane.
That game worries me. Oklahoma barely beat lowly Houston 16-12.
Lowly Houston. Yeah, and Oklahoma usually scores points.
Now they can't score, which is bad.
Well, Brett, how worried are you about Purdue? Notre Dame's going to Purdue, and Notre Dame coming off the loss to Southern Illinois? Northern Illinois. Don't even know which one.
That is one of the biggest upsets in Notre Dame history. I don't know whether Brett agrees, but it's got to be.
Well, yeah, they were 28-point favorites, I think. Yeah. So I would say so.
And it's not the first time it's happened to Marcus
Freeman. No, he lost to Marshall at home a couple years ago.
Has a way of losing these games that they're heavy favorites.
Brett said that he watched the first drive. Notre Dame went down the field so easy that he started doing something else. And what was the score when you checked it?
Oh, I had it on the whole time.
Okay.
I just didn't have my eyes on it the whole time.
Yeah, just wasn't going to be that much of a game. So, but boy, it was. It was.
But I mean, they got 10 must-win games now. If they want to make the playoff, they got to win.
Yeah, they're not out of it. That's what I like about it. They're not out of it. You know,
that's right.
I think they could have afforded 2 losses if one of them wasn't in Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
But if you lose to somebody like that, I don't think you can lose again.
Yep. Go ahead, Mike.
After they beat Texas A&M, everybody was looking at their schedule and saying they're going to be in
That's
the
what
playoff.
happens, though, when you play a team like that.
I think that was the problem.
On the road, win that game, and then you've got the lightweight, and you don't take them serious.
Don't take them seriously.
And they evidently weren't that light.
Nope.
So let's take our final time out here real quick.
I'm interested to see how Northern Illinois does this week and the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, what if they go 11-1 or something? I mean,
then Notre Dame's RPI goes up. Every game they win will help Notre Dame's RPI.
Because you notice how all these these conference rivalry games, which used to be at the end of the season in previous years, are now right in these first 3 or 4 games. Washington State, Oregon, all that. So
I like it, though. More good games.
Yeah.
All right, Brett, what's your lyrics?
Raven hair and ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips.
Back in a moment.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flip through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their mini floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Stop by Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincolnton for their great deals on items you use around the house. Need to update around the kitchen? Then shop a great selection of appliances and some up to 30% off retail prices. Buy Craftsman's 20-volt max battery and get your choice of matching Craftsman cordless tool free. Update your workshop area with a wide selection of shop tools, only $99 each. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Shop Lowe's in Lincolnton for the things you want to buy today.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. No more sorting through and keeping up with your multiple bottles of medication. No more filling daily reminder boxes. No more calling in meds and worrying about refills. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Century will be the link between you and your doctor to assure you that your medication profile is up to date and refillable. In other words, Century Drug will do all the work. You just take your medications and be healthy and happy. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. Jason mentions that those games are now non-conference games. The in-state rivalries, Washington State, Oregon State, so they're earlier in the season than usual. Most people are getting Brett's lyrics correct, but Ned flunked.
Blew it.
Ned flunked. He's got Rhiannon, Stevie Nicks, and Fleetwood Mac, and that. What's the first line of that song, Brett? It starts with Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Starts with the word Rhiannon. Let's see. It reminded me of a Seinfeld episode where Elaine likes to dance to the song. Give the lyrics again.
I gotta get back to it here. Raven hair and ruby lips, sparks fly from her fingertips.
That sounds like Don Henley to me.
Mm-hmm.
Of the Eagles singing Witchy Woman. Yep. Or as Elaine says, Witchy Woman.
Witchy Woman.
Great song, by the way. I honestly, there's a few I probably would turn when they come on, but the Eagles didn't have too many bad ones, right?
Yeah, they were radio friendly, no doubt.
Yeah. And Ned says an Eagles song with the question mark. Yes, Ned, Witchy Woman. Witchy Woman. Classic hit. There. Our other trivia question was the real name of a celebrity that it was Don Revels gave us, right, Brett?
Yeah.
And that name again was?
Reginald Kenneth Dwight.
Reginald.
Is it musician or actor?
Musician. Born in 1947.
I mean, there's just no clues to that, though.
Nah.
47.
There are absolutely no clues to that. It is a male, right?
I'm just guessing.
It is a male, right?
Yeah, it is a male.
Okay.
Is he British?
Yep, he is.
Oh, British. Okay, I'm going to go...
Mick Jagger.
No, I'm going to go...
I went Mick Jagger. You don't know me.
Let's see. I'm going to go Rod Stewart.
Musician.
Rod Stewart?
No.
Elton John?
Yep.
Elton John.
Then that belongs to Hooks. Elton John.
Elton John.
Hooks says, I'm sorry, Ned. Let's see. Yeah, Hooks did too. Hooks also said Elton John. He and Ned at the same time put in Elton John. And that's Reginald
Kenneth Dwight.
Yeah. Okay. Then the question, the age-old question, would he have been as popular under his real name? We'll never know.
We know he obviously was a great talent. Talent usually wins out, but I think it helped to be Elton John as a name.
You know his middle name? Elton John. He's got a middle name as Elton John.
I've heard it before, but as far as remembering it, probably not. And Hook says he wouldn't have been as popular without changing that name to
Hercules.
Elton John. Hercules.
Sir Elton Hercules John.
Hercules.
I only think about the
Nutty Professor.
Hercules. I don't even think about the bodybuilder.
No.
Hercules.
Nutty Professor.
Yep, Nutty Professor. Texas San Antonio at Texas. Look for a rout. I don't care who Texas is playing right now. They're on a roll. Playing really good. Yeah, Hook says Hercules. I think everybody in the world knows that scene of that movie. Texas at home. Texas has to be a lot of people's favorite right now to be in the final two. I would think Georgia and Texas would get a lot of votes, don't you guys?
Yeah, based on what we've seen.
Georgia at Kentucky. Who has the closer game today? Georgia, Kentucky, or Texas and UTSA?
Well, you would think at least Kentucky's a member of the SEC.
I'm going to say Georgia, but that's just...
And you'd think they'd play a little better than they did last week.
I'll go Georgia, Kentucky.
Yep.
I mean, that's...
Because I think the other game's a 50-point game.
The 2-0 Cornhuskers host Northern Iowa, also 2-0. And this Northern Iowa team always has good football. It's not. This is not a pushover.
They're sort of like South Dakota State.
Yeah,
North Dakota,
they're
that kind of
well,
thing.
you know, the first time that the first national championship Appalachian won, it was Northern Iowa. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I was there.
Speaking of App,
they got drilled.
Oh,
they got a wake-up call last week, didn't
wow.
they? Got a wake-up call last week.
Was it 56 in the first half they gave up?
I think so.
Yeah, 56 at halftime. 35 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Ned says Elton John had John Lennon in his corner. Well, that didn't hurt any. Lennon also had another name, Winston O. Boogie. Never heard that before. Winston O. Boogie. Hook says Texas has a good backup, last name being Manning. Yeah, I'd say so. He said Kerry Miller said he left in the first quarter of the Clemson and App game last week.
Yeah, it was 35-0 at the end of the first.
Left in the first quarter. Yeah, I would have got out of that heat.
Yeah,
as well. Tennessee's at home to take on Kent State. Tennessee, another team that's going to be knocking on the door of a playoff.
Will Scott
berth
Coniger be heading for that one?
I think he's already there.
Already there?
I think he is already there. K-State, Arizona. Kansas State. That was last night, 31-7. The 14th ranked. A convincing win over another ranked team.
Now that's a Big 12 conference game.
Number 14 beat number 20.
That's true.
That's weird, isn't it?
You don't think about that, but it
no,
is.
that didn't even cross my mind.
But it is.
That is a
right.
conference game. That never crossed my mind.
Did you mention Ole Miss?
No.
Coming to Wake Forest today?
Oh.
Yeah, they play at Wake.
How many points will Ole Miss put up today at Wake Forest? This is a scoring machine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin can coach some offense.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be in every game.
Yep.
At least 40.
Yeah.
Wake lost to Virginia last week, 31-30.
I'm going to say at least 50.
That's a bad loss.
Do I hear 60? 60, anyone? Do I hear 60? How many have they scored in their games this year? Only 2 games, right? They played 2?
Yeah, 76 and 52.
Oh, I'm going 50.
Those were against Furman and Middle Tennessee.
Well,
which I don't know if Wake Forest has much better defense than
here's what
either one of those.
It depends on what kind of start they get off to. They'll call off the dogs if they actually can score 35 or so in the first half, and may not get to 50. But if it's kind of close for a while, I think they can score on every time they touch it if they want to. And that's no knock on Wake. That's just how good that offense is. Yeah. I did not pick them for my final 12. Somehow I left them out.
I don't know how you did
I may be regretting that down the road. Well, SEC's a gauntlet. It's not going to be a piece of cake when they start playing those conference games. Here's the deal. Right, when they start playing each other, here's the deal.
It's really not.
How many do they get to avoid? Because you can't play them all.
Now here's who they play.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be the secret.
And next week they play Georgia Southern. Kentucky, not real good.
Nope.
South Carolina.
Nope. Well, yeah. I mean, but beatable.
At LSU, that'll be tough.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
Arkansas. Georgia. Florida and Mississippi State.
It's not that tough.
No.
Thanks, Hooks, for saying great show this morning. We're just about out of time. Don Revels said, let's make sure I got down. And there's my favorite, Sherilyn Sarkeesian, related to Steve Sarkeesian with a question mark. Her name is Cher. Did not know that. Sherilyn Sarkeesian is the great Cher. That's a new one on me. Thanks for tuning in this morning to Sports Talk. For Brett, Lenny, Mike, I'm David. See you next week.